does like to rev all the way up to the red line of 7,200. Not as high as some of those Hondas out there. I got some nice 8-inch Scar speakers in the door. Factory size for this car was 8-inch music speakers, so they sound really good. I also have a Scar box at the back, Scar audio box. It makes these really cheap Lanzar Max speakers hit hard, actually. And I'm only running about 200 watts RMS to each one of them, and they're rated at 800 peak, so does not hurt them. I do have a dual head unit in here. Wasn't really trying to go too cheap, but at the same time I just wanted to see what would fit in here, and this is one of the better units that would fit in my car at the time, so decided to buy it. Why not? I also got some nice Recaro floor mats. Let's see. Everything works pretty well. You can blip the throttle. Horn. You can blip the throttle, and it's a little bit of spool on the turbo, but not too much, since it's not set up like a two-step style. But you get a little bit of it moving. I do run it with its premium fuel and castor oil. Everything works. The AC works perfect in this car. Gets nice and cold pretty quickly. And a lot of cars don't come with this nowadays. This is definitely a 90s, late 80s, 90s features called Econ. Basically, you put that on, and when you're just cruising, you get the nice cold AC, and if you put your foot down, it kind of disconnects the AC, so you get all the power out of the engine from back in the day. So the old cars had that issue where it would draw power, where new cars you don't have that issue, so you can leave your AC on. It doesn't really draw power from your engine because they're all electronic. But it was a good feature for these type of cars to have the Econ button, so when you really wanted to go, it would stop the AC from blowing freezing cold. You'd still get the air coming in, but it just wouldn't be cold anymore. But you can always click it back to regular AC, and you lose about 5 horsepower, I believe, something like that. So it's not even that big of a difference on these turbo cars from the 90s, but it runs good. It does love to run. It's also really good in the corners. One of these days I'm going to get a nice little G meter to actually see what these things can actually hit in the corners. I feel like this was definitely an underrated car, the GT4s, considering how freaking amazing they were. They were overlooked by the Toyota Supras of the 90s, and we never got these in the US, which kind of sucks because it has forged internals on the bottom end. It has forged crank, forged pistons, forged rods, so it can handle boost pretty much all day long, and it's not going to have any issues with it. I always tell people the 90s for Japanese sports cars were some of the best built engines of all time, including the 2JZ GTE, the RB26, the RB25s, the SR20s, all those great engines, the Honda's B series, the B16, B18s, even when they went into the K series on the Hondas, they just got better. So, like, they knew what they were doing when they were building these cars. I know I'm missing Mitsubishis. 4G63. That was in the Evo and the Eclipse Turbo and the Eagle Talon. Great vehicles as well. But I just love this car because it is so understated. Like, outside of the wing and the hood, I could drive this around if I took those off and people would think it's a normal Celica. And I love it. They would just believe it's a right-hand drive from Japan Celica, and they wouldn't think too much of it because you don't really hear the turbo, which is amazing. Even when I'm at full tilt on the highway, like, you can't hear the turbo at all. So it's amazing. The seats are actually very comfortable in this car, surprisingly. Get some light in here. There we go. These are the original factory seats. I do have the factory floor mats that actually pretty much match everything in this car. The rears do have the matching floor mats for the front, but I got stuff on the floor back there, so I'm definitely not showing you the back. All the power options still work on this car. Got the power windows, still work 100% fine. Power mirrors still work. It's just incredible. Like, 26 years and very little does need to be worked on this car. I will be working on the suspension soon because it's about that time. 26 years for a car, it should definitely get a refresh on the suspension, so I'll be working on that within the next month or so, and I'll be posting more updated videos around that time frame. Outside of that, hope you all enjoy this little tutorial about the car itself. If you find anything interesting or have a comment, please put it down in the comment section below. If you got friends that like this type of car, please have them subscribe. If there's any other type of cars y'all want me to talk about, please let me know. And I hope everyone has a great day. This is Rob, aka Right Hand Rob. Y'all have a great day.